Are you ready, kids? I can't hear you. Okay, yeah, can't go any further because we don't want to get flagged with the copyright. I just got the old SpongeBob SquarePants from Super7. It's hit or miss with me in this brand. They've done well with The Simpsons. But the box, boring, brown, ugh, yucky. But that's not what we're here for. Oh, what happened to the plastic bag? They just stopped doing the plastic sleeve. That's weird. So normally there's a plastic bag around this box, but there isn't one. I mean, I'm fine with less plastic, but that seems like an odd choice. Now this is clearly painted. This illustration, you can see all the paint strokes and stuff, so that's cool. Some very like original looking art. I'm a fan of that. Boxed smart, make the whole box the SpongeBob boy. And the bottom of the box, we've gotten a little bit of information, and do any of us really care about that? And then they always just do one figure with accessories. That's a pretty generic thing that they put on everything. Unfortunately, they don't list how many or what the accessories are. Back of the box, SpongeBob SquarePants. Let's take the sleeve off. Oh, hello. I say that like I didn't know what was in there. I don't know what's wrong with me. Sometimes we're just here and we're doing stuff. So there we go, we've got SpongeBob. He's got a lot of accessories, it seems, and I do know, you gotta have these extra arms in here because he doesn't have articulation. And I don't know how I feel about that. I wish he had elbows that moved, but maybe it's okay. So let's see what we got. They have not done any black outlines, which is kind of on brand with Super7. So I guess that's okay. Let's see, back of the box, see those black outlines, like how much better that makes the figure look. But anyway, we've got a little bit of information about who SpongeBob is, and like you really need those bios in the box because you're not buying this and not knowing who they are. But I love this bikini bottom style, very much SpongeBob artwork that is going on. I wonder if they did original stuff for this, or if it was, is it like images given to them by Nickelodeon or something. But let's open it up. There's no tape holding this shut, so that's also another weird thing. There was no plastic around this. There's no tape holding the top of it in. Yeah, that seems strange. What's going on? Did it just change all their packaging? Which I guess for inbox collectors, now you can take your stuff out and play with it. There's no tape. Hey, inbox collectors, you can now have fun with your SpongeBob. The sleeve is just another nice bikini bottom styled like backdrop thing. So there we go. Take this plastic sleeve off. We've got a hand in there with the little bubbles he's blowing, and his net to catch his jellyfish. Now, SpongeBob, voiced by Tom Kenny, the greatest voice actor. He does so much stuff. He does the Ice King from Adventure Time. He does fantastic guy. I got to meet him, and by got to meet him, I mean I paid for it because it was GalaxyCon. So I paid for his autograph on a thing that I drew, and he was super nice though. Listen, he wrote on that thing that I gave him for an autograph to the best artist on land and sea. So, take that for what you will, but if you buy some of my art from my store, you can get some of the best artists from land and sea art. That's a big deal. Let's take him out of that plastic, right? Because we got two gigantic headpieces, and yeah, that's kind of Super7's direction, right? They just give you full replacements. And I guess with figures like this, like Ren and Stimpy, I don't know, what else do you do, right? You can't have articulation face. We've got Gary, who seems wildly oversized. We've got Gary's food bowl, which looks, like cat food, because he's basically a cat in that world. We've got a bottle of bubbles to go along, obviously, with this hand. So maybe not the best design work on this bubble, because you can see through it and how they, I don't know, that seems kind of strange, right? Is there not a better way to do that without the thing in the middle? I'm already missing those black outlines like big time on this stuff. Now, Super7, sometimes they can nail stuff with the accessories. Like we got the Bubble Boy, or whatever he was that he blew out of that and created, but there aren't any Krabby Patty, Krusty Krab styled themed things. Like, where's his Krusty Krab hat? That makes the most sense, right? To give him Krusty Krab that and a spatula? I mean, unless they say, oh, we're gonna make accessory packs and then go that route, I don't know. I don't think they will. So we've got some alternate hands, which look like they can be swapped out on the hands or the arms. Wait, what did I just say? We've got alternate hands that can be swapped out on the different arms. I still don't know if I just said it right. Okay, so we got a jellyfish, which he will capture with the net. There's no jellyfish jam or whatever it was, jelly. And then we've got this. I don't want this. It's such a waste. All right, we got some pointing fingers. We got some finger guns. We've got some gripping hands. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely missing the black outlines like all around the eyes, even the cheeks. Could definitely benefit from that. It just makes it seem a little cheap. But you know, that's it's like, what, I'm gonna say Super 7 didn't make something that looks and feels cheap? That's rarely the case. All right, so that is a very tight ball socket thing going on for his, I guess, torso or whatever you would call that. For his head, neck? That's not, I don't know. He's just weird shape. I don't know what you would call that. But that was a very tight fit. It's kind of hard to grip, and maybe you are gonna fear that you break something. But we got some legs. They kick very simply. I thought maybe there was gonna be some better articulation than this, but that's it. There's no knees, there's nothing, it's just very straightforward. You got some peg holes, which, thank you for at least doing that, because I'm sure he's gonna need them. But you can rotate the legs out, and then you have these, the little hinge points, which are just, I don't know. That's just strange, it's super strange. Super 7, super strange, baby. This means he can articulate when he's clipped in. So let's, take those off, take these off, take these on. See, this is how you know SpongeBob's too big, because I look really cool with these on, honestly. And I don't need my own glasses anymore. That's silly. So where were we? SpongeBob, he's got his glasses on for his little blow and bubble business action thing. They don't really have a proper fit to go on in any particular way. There's not anything would be smart to have like kind of lock in there, but nothing. Anyway, so you got glasses. For whatever reason you would want them. You've got his bubble blowing arms, and listen, another reason why you need black outline stuff, because that just looks super strange. I'm gonna keep saying that. These just go in like very simply. Shoulder articulation rotates, and then he's not really able, is that a bendy? Technically? Maybe? It just keeps going right back to where it was, but it seems a little odd that you're not gonna be able to get the blowing bubbles right in front of his face. It needs to be way over here. Okay, maybe you can. Maybe you can. So there you go. You got blowing bubble boy, spongy bub boy, bubble boy. Let's get this arm in here and put the bubble one in. So pretty straightforward, simple, kind of standard Super 7 style joints or whatever. So it's like that double thick locking in thing, which is nice. I guess they're long enough and probably strong enough that you don't have to really worry about those. So there he is. He's blowing bubbles. It's just, that's it. We did it. Man, listen, after the Simpsons one, I thought for sure that this would have been a little bit more enjoyable. Let's get rid of those. I don't like those. So you got that hinge point at his waist or neck or whatever you want to call it, and it does do some articulation. I can, whatever. But then you get this huge exposed section. I don't know how well he's gonna stand on his own. Not too bad, actually. Another thing that needs black outlines. This looks super cheap. This is something you would get out of a toy randomly at Walmart or something. Like the seam going across here is not great. I'm a fan of the net, like it being an actual net. It's kind of nice, but you can scoop up your little jellyfish in it. So there you go, cool. Gary's food bowl. So the edges here are a little like obvious, but it's fine. That's not a big deal. It doesn't really bother me. Gary himself is not really posable. His eyes are stuck together, so they're not separated, which is a bummer. It seems like a missed opportunity. Make these bendy wires and then have his eyes separated. That's it, he's done. He's essentially a statue, big fat statue. The bubble boy thing, well, it's executed well. It's just kind of pointless, and it looks like it's gonna scuff up super easy, real fast. You're gonna get these little marks in it and stuff because it's just plain clear plastic. I mean, you got all of these injection mold spots that are visible. I don't know. It's pointless. I don't like being like this with Super 7 stuff. What did I expect? I expected Simpsons stuff, you know, better quality. This just seems like you could buy it super cheap for your kid. And I was a really big fan of SpongeBob when it came out originally. It was really nice comedy in there that seemed to be, I don't know what I'm saying. It was a good show. They did a good job. It's funny, good humor and stuff, but this is, well, that's what funny means. They even had an episode where Pantera was the music guest, and every song through the entire episode was a Pantera song. Just crazy to me. I don't know. As far as Super 7 goes, this is falling in line with just some of their worst stuff. Not a fan. I was just, man, I really wanted this to be good. This is too heavy. Look. So you're gonna put that in his hand. Well, now it's not gonna do it. Oh, there you go. It's too heavy to hold. Well, shoot. Who would have thought that would be the case? And without his Krusty Krab gear and his hat, Krusty Krab pizza, that would have been an epic accessory to have, because Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me. But we don't have it. So we got this like kind of basic articulation in the arms. He can't really hold his stuff because it's too heavy. And then the glasses are kind of like weak as far as staying on his face. So whichever set, that one does a little bit better than this one, I guess. And the black outlines would really clean up all the paint and stuff. So close-up look here, you got these paint lines between everything and the brown going over top of, so it was like a white base, the brown going on top, it got a little thin there at the edge, and then the red's bleeding out. Would have just made a lot more sense to fix stuff like this, right? Just add a black outline. It's a cartoon, it's gonna look great anyway. You get a lot of seam lines, which is very normal, and then they completely ruin the backside of him by adding the stamps here. Instead of being on the feet, which is pretty normal, you could have even done it down here where like the really awful like dipped thing is happening for his legs, which seems totally unnecessary. And then, yeah, this is a real big misstep by putting this in the back of it. It really cheapens it, makes it feel like a basic toy you get anywhere. This is something you'd pick up at, where would Nickelodeon be? Like Universal Studios or something like that, and you're buying some Nickelodeon stuff, and you're like, oh, there's a cute little SpongeBob over there, and maybe it's a park exclusive, like 40 bucks, and you get all this stuff, and you're just like, oh, that's fun, and then you just forget about it, right? It just ends up somewhere, and you're like, I don't know really why we bought that when we went to the park. All right, well, is there anything else that I need to talk about? If you want to see a Super 7 video of an item that I actually like, then please, at the end of this posing segment, watch that one, because it's a great video and it's a great item, and I support that line fully at this point. And I almost forgot to add in that, you know, the question. Is SpongeBob worth it? No. No, he's not. Obviously, no. Why would you think he was? I thought he was going to be when I ordered him. He's not. Let's get into posing.